16 years ago today was the unfortunate tragedy of 9/11. Now, I remember this, like, when I was, like, a young kid. I remember it on the news, like, I was too young at the time, like, 5 or whatever, and I remember it on the news, and, like, just a horrific attack, and, yeah, my thoughts and prayers are still with the families who obviously lost, people that day, and, yeah. And, on to Raw. So, Raw, you know what? I thought going into No Mercy, I can see that the WWE really kind of building up this pay per view as a big deal. Like they really are stacking the card up really well. I mean, obviously you've got your two featured matches, which is Roman Reigns and John Cena, and you got your Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar feud. And then obviously your undercard, and your undercard's looking pretty good. Jason Jordan versus The Miz possibly. I don't really want to see that match after tonight. When we saw Miz and Enzo go at it on the mic, I think that those two guys, working a program together would be awesome. And then we have Bray Wyatt versus Goldust tonight. Like it was just all that kind of stuff. But yeah, apart from that, Raw was a good show, and I really enjoyed it. My only kind of points that I didn't like about it, and I know why they're doing this, is because football season and the NFL just started again, a new season again. And we had another throwaway WrestleMania match with John Cena versus Braun Strowman. Now I know that they didn't have a clear winner in this match. I know that they're gonna do another match at some point, and I know that they had to do it because they wanted to win the ratings tonight. But I don't know why they have to keep throwing away these matches all the time. I mean, they've had Nakamura Cena, they've had Strowman Cena tonight, and they've had who else did they have tonight? They had another big match. And I can't remember who else they had, but yeah, I don't know why the WWE keep throwing these. I know it's for ratings, but when it gets to WrestleMania, what's your big match is going to be? I mean, what big matches are you actually going to do? And then are you going to do what they did at WrestleMania 29 a couple of years ago, where you're going to just repeat stuff, which I think is personally lazy. He asked me, it's just lazy booking from the WWE standpoint. I mean, that is, WrestleMania is like the Super Bowl of professional wrestling, and then when they repeat stuff, you kind of get it kind of gets bad for WWE. But anyway, Raw opens up this week with Jason Jordan versus Roman Reigns. Now, this was a really good way to open up Raw. Like, these two guys really have good chemistry together, and I know that Jason Jordan isn't over, like, at all at the minute, but one thing that I think will get him over is if he keeps wrestling the way the way he is, and keeps getting over with some of the moves he's doing, like the Northern Light suplex, like that Northern Light suplex. It's like that pops the crowd and stuff like that. If he keeps doing like moves like that, and he improves on his mic skills, then I could see Jason Jordan, going somewhere in the WWE. It's just that the fans are not really intrigued in this whole Kurt Angle Jason Jordan storyline, and the end game is obviously going to. I mean, what's the end game going to be? Is it going to be Kurt Angle versus Triple H WrestleMania, with a Jason Jordan helping Triple H? I mean, they could have where Triple H would say to Jason Jordan, "Well, who got you into WWE again?" And then he's like, "Well, it was you, Hunter." And then he's like, "Again, I thought so, again." And then obviously, Triple H and Kurt Angle, and then Triple H was like, "Well, I only use Jason Jordan so basically I can get opportunities or something like that." I don't know how they work it in, but anyway, I'll probably talk about that in the video. But anyway, they had a good match. Roman Reigns wins with a spear. After that, John Cena comes out, and basically John Cena for a third week in a row not buries Roman Reigns, but again puts Roman Reigns on blast. Now I liked it the first week they did it. Second week, okay. But the third week in a row when John Cena once again has roasted Roman Reigns. 3 times he has blasted this guy on the mic. And I don't know who the hell is actually who's actually booking these segments or whatever. But why are you putting Roman Reigns against John Cena in a shoot promo? It's not going to work. It's going to make Roman Reigns look like a fucking jobber. because Roman Reigns cannot do off-script promos. I mean, he is a guy with John Cena who's one of the best talkers in the WWE today, and he's up against the guy who can barely talk in Roman Reigns, and hasn't got the mic skills like a John Cena has. And you put him in the like, you put him in like in the like the firing end, and you're actually putting him in against John Cena in a wrestling shoot promo, a work shoot promo with John Cena. Now I don't know where Vince says make Roman a star, because you're not going to make Roman a star if he's going to be struggling with promos with John Cena. Now, I like how they do shoot promos sometimes in the WWE. They've done it before with obviously CM Punk and John Cena. AJ Styles and John Cena kind of had one earlier this year. But when you have somebody like a Roman Reigns who was not comfortable on the mic at best of times, and he, is in a program now with John Cena, and they obviously want to now do the passing of the torch throne with him and Cena, and obviously Cena's bringing some points as why he has to come back to WWE more often, and then John Cena, and then Roman Reigns is like coming up with goofy lies, saying like he's a phony and whatever, and then that kind of pisses me off, and then just stuff like that. I mean, if you want to really establish Roman Reigns, then I wouldn't put him in a shoot promo with John Cena. It's just career suicide. Vince McMahon, excuse me again. Vince McMahon is a genius, and sometimes I wonder, like, he's trying to make Roman Reigns this big star, like the next future guy of the company, but he's putting him in promos that he cannot do because he is not good at shoot promos, especially not with John Cena. But anyway, after that we had Sasha Banks and Emma. Now this was a good match here. I really enjoyed that. This was a good match, and I did like how they had Nia Jax and Alexa on commentary. They was going back and forth on the mic on commentary. Sasha gets the win. I didn't really care. I mean, the match was good, but I didn't care about it. After that, next week, we're gonna have Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss. And one thing I am liking with the WWE is I'm liking how they're announcing matches like weeks in advance. Like they're matching, like next week we're gonna have Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss. I'm really glad that they're announcing matches like a week in advance, because that gets the viewer excited for a match. So like say next week they maybe have Enzo versus The Miz again. And obviously they promote that for this week's Raw for next week, and then obviously hopefully the fans will tune in. But yeah, that's what I miss about like WWE these days. Like back in the day, they used to always do this, where they would have obviously a match for next week, and obviously they would plan it a week in advance and stuff like that. But now they're doing it more often, and I like that. But anyway, after that we had Bray Wyatt come out, the Eater of Pins. And he basically says that Goldust is a phony and whatever. And after that, it's Bray Wyatt versus Goldust. Bray defeats Goldust and wipes paint off Goldust's face. After that, Finn Balor makes a save. I do not know why Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt are feuding. I thought that after SummerSlam, that was it. It was done in the water, because didn't Finn Balor bring back the Demon King to actually take down Bray Wyatt? But now they're having a rematch at No Mercy. I mean, why? Just to have Bray Wyatt lose again to Finn Balor, which doesn't elevate either guy, because hasn't Finn Balor already got his big win at SummerSlam? So why would Finn Balor have to have another rematch with Bray Wyatt to just have the same outcome again? It just doesn't make no sense on a booking standpoint. And why would you waste a Bray Wyatt and a Finn Balor in a meaningless feud? Like, since Finn Balor's returned, it's just been he's been one of the worst booked wrestlers of the year. Him and Bray Wyatt have I just feel sorry for both of those guys. Like, they're both talented and they should do a lot better than this, and they're just booked in mid-card pieces of shit like this. And yeah, that's all I have to about that. After that, we have Brock Lesnar coming out with Paul Heyman, and Heyman talks about Strowman at No Mercy. Strowman comes out, and Brock tries to take him to Super City, but obviously he counters that, and Braun Strowman demolishes Brock Lesnar again. And the question is, I want to say to WWE is that, what is the end game with Braun Strowman? are you actually going to pull the trigger? Like I said a couple of days ago in a video, why Braun Strowman should be Universal Champion. Check that video out in the description box. And I said that you've been building this guy up now for 12, 18 months now. He's, been one of the most talked about people on that Raw brand. Now, the next thing that you should do is put the main title on Braun Strowman. Because if you're just going to have Braun Strowman built up for 12 months and then eventually have him feud with Brock Lesnar, which you are now, to then have him then jump to Brock Lesnar at No Mercy, to then later on have Brock Lesnar receive Roman Reigns again, which is a dumb decision because I've already seen that match before. And again, if you want to establish talent, the one thing that you don't do, you don't feed them to like guys that you've already made, like a Brock Lesnar or John Cena. And I know I keep saying about the Attitude Era, but back in the Attitude Era, Discussion Era, back then when you had, your veteran guys and, your young guys, you would build them up for so many months, and then eventually they would obviously get a rub from a Triple H or somebody like that. But, I don't see any end game in Braun Strowman losing at No Mercy. And if he loses clean to an F5, I am just going to rant because this guy is absolutely the MVP of that Raw brand this year. And if he doesn't win the title, then where do you go from? Where does Braun Strowman, the character, go from here? Does he? Yeah, does he go to SmackDown and maybe salvage something with maybe Randy Orton or AJ Styles, or do you keep him on Raw where he's not going to get the title and he's just basically going to be feuding again, maybe with the Roman Reigns again? Or is he going to be feuding with another guy who's been the MVP of that Raw brand and Samoa Joe? But we're not going to see Brock Lesnar until the Royal Rumble. And we've had this problem before where Brock Lesnar, he comes in, he was a champion for a bit, it was a boring ass title reign. Actually, I would like to see WWE pull the trigger and actually give it to Braun Strowman. See how he does as a Universal Champion. See what reactions he gets after winning the Universal title. And, if he hasn't got the good reactions or whatever after he wins the title, then maybe take it off him after a month or whatever. But at this point, after you booked Braun Strowman so well after 12 months, I would at least expect a little reign or a short to a decent reign with that Universal title. Just saying. But after that we had Enzo and The Miz. They were having a segment, and before the segment even started, Miz and Maurice announced that they were having a baby. Shout outs to those guys. Congrats. So basically, Miz and Enzo go absolutely awesome on the mic. How they talk about both how they were kicked out of the locker room and how Miz was saying that everybody hates Enzo, and Enzo even admitted himself he's annoying. And then after that we had Miz versus Enzo. You know what? This was an okay match here. Miz gets the win, and then after that the Miz Taraj attack Enzo. I thought that this was good here. Then after that we had Neville and Enzo backstage. Then we have Braun Strowman versus John Cena. I thought that this was a good match as well. Like, I understand the end game. Now, the end game was obviously to obviously win the ratings in the Monday nights with obviously Monday Night Football. So the best thing to do was to have Braun Strowman and obviously Cena go out there and have a match. Have a short match. I know that they weren't going to have a long WrestleMania type match because obviously they're going to save it for Mania, maybe Royal Rumble. But they had a decent match, and obviously Braun Strowman looked stronger again. He attacked John Cena, he body slammed him onto the steps, and he didn't win the match, but he looked like a star tonight on Raw. Then after that, you see Roman Reigns looking at the back. And then after that, we have my boy, the Drifter, versus Kalisto. The Drifter gets the win here. After that, we have a six-man tag match. It was supposed to be actually before that we had the Club versus the Bar, but basically the match didn't start because we had Seth and Dean. They were on commentary tonight, and the Bar and Dean and Seth were basically they were having a confrontation. And then after that we get to is announced in the main event tonight. It's going to be a 8-man tag team match. It's going to be Seth and Dean versus a mystery tag team partner versus the Bar and the Club. So the main event timing is the Club and the Bar versus Seth and Dean Ambrose and the Hardys. You know what? This was a good main event. You know, it was a good way to end Raw. I thought that, you know, a good match here. And my question is, where do the Hardys go from here now? I know that there's going to feud with the Revival, but it looks like to me, are they going to feud with the Club now? Because like, since WrestleMania, what noteworthy thing has the Hardys actually done? Like, have the Hardys actually done anything noteworthy since WrestleMania? I know they won the tag belts, but since they've lost those tag belts, they have gone so stale in the WWE. And I know people's like, bring the broken universe to WWE, but the thing is, would the broken universe at this point save the Hardy Boys from their bad booking they've had recently? Now I know Matt wants to do the broken gimmick, but the company have always been the company have always been see, I'm going to botching today. The company's always been behind Jeff Hardy. That is their poster boy. That is like their, you know, their golden child. And they will not push Matt Hardy. I don't care what people say. I know Matt Hardy is money with a broken gimmick and whatever, but Jeff Hardy is the guy that they're gonna push. That's the guy that moves merch. That's gonna, you know, move ticket merch, and he's gonna be the guy that, you know, that the kids like and stuff like that. Matt Hardy is like, you know, drawn to us adults, you know, with the broken gimmick and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised maybe in a year, maybe 6 months, maybe to a year, that we see Jeff Hardy with another Universal title or WWE title reign. But then after that, that's how Raw ended. And before Raw ended, we had a video package for Asuka. That is right, Asuka is coming to Raw. We had a great video package of Asuka. And then the thing is that we saw here that was Nia Jax was looking, she was like, that damn bitch. And she didn't say bitch, but she was like, look at her. Well, that's kind of funny. But anyway, that was Raw for this week. I thought Raw was a really good show. I wouldn't really fault Raw. Like, No Mercy is looking really good. A really good strong card. Nia Jax versus Alexis next week. And yeah, we're only 2 weeks away from No Mercy. What do you guys think of the build up for No Mercy? What do you guys think of Raw? Leave your thoughts down below, guys. I know. Check you later.